Welcome back, sailors, to the world of Eterna. We are 13 days out from the week-long preview event for New World, and I thought it was time to briefly talk about it. So far, it looks like the preview event is still going to be lasting 1 week. For a lot of people, that means hitting the cap might not be possible, but I'll have some tips available for you on how best to rush for it as soon as I know we can talk about it. In the meantime, I'd like to have a quick discussion about my plans for this. We currently don't know what the server names will be or how many will be available, but I already know that if they happen to name any of the available servers Isabella, I'm joining it immediately. And if they don't, then we'll be deciding during the live stream instead. At least 3 of the 7 days I'm planning on streaming the gameplay for about 6 hours a day. Faction-wise, I'm planning on going Marauder for both the preview event and actual launch of the game. Guild-wise, I'm expecting to fly solo, which is fine because of the way the game works. It's more of a faction-based game rather than guild-based, and if you know people you can play with or meet people, you don't 100% have to be in a guild to enjoy it. And you are able to solo through a lot of it unless they decided to make some balancing tweaks in key areas, but we'll have to see. Now for the test itself, I'm actually expecting it to go pretty well, on the stability side of things. During the stress test, they were producing some decent results after that first day. I was expecting us to get a huge amount of lag in some places and at least a day or 2 of server downtime, but they pulled through. I was on the first server, which was heavily populated, and other than scrambling over mob and resource spawns, the server did alright. Now for the preview event, they did mention that we would be getting an article that would have clarification on the NDA. As I understand it, once the preview event begins, all bets are off and we can talk about it. And anything we do or record during that week is okay to share with the public. But once that week is up, the next alpha is the part that's under NDA. But anything we recorded or streamed during that week should still be just fine. I mean, a lot of times, you'll get content creators and such that take days to produce their work. It would make no sense to start immediately policing public content after the event is over, but we'll find out for sure. Now for what I'm planning to make content-wise for the event is going to be under wraps until we actually get there. It'll include guide content, reviews, news, but minimal let's plays outside of the streams and specific content showcases. For the actual test itself, I'm expecting one of 2 things to happen. I think either they will start us off at level 1 and we'll get a fresh experience but a lot of players won't hit 60, or they'll start us off at a higher level and give us gear and other bonuses to work with. Like I mentioned before, if we do start at level 1, I'll have some information to prepare you beforehand on how to rush to the cap, and some content you want to try out before the event is over. For new additions, as much as I would love it, I don't fully think we'll be getting access to some of the newer weapons we've seen in previous showcases. I think instead that we'll be dealing with the same arsenal we've seen in previous public examples of their builds, which means we might not get pistols, spears, the great axe, and those other weapons that could still be getting reworked. New area-wise, there is one that I know people haven't seen yet, but I wouldn't expect them to be getting that many new ones until next year. Overall, they probably used the time between the previous alpha ending and the stress test to strengthen the servers and push bug fixes. In conclusion, don't forget that sometime after the August 25th event that they will be holding another alpha test, and we'll hopefully be playing that up until spring of next year when the game releases. At that point, I would totally recommend doing your best to find games to fill the time if you're interested in this one. We've got some decent ones coming out this year that might fit the bill. Right now I'm still addicted to Worm Online, but I can also recommend Crusader Kings 3, Baldur's Gate 3, definitely have to play that. Cyberpunk 2077 might be awesome. World of Warcraft Shadowlands for those of you that want to try it, of course. And a couple other MMOs that should be doing testing like Corepunk and Alien. On that note though, thank you very much for joining me for this small update. I'll see you folks during the preview event and definitely after. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. Have a wonderful night or day, sailors, and farewell.